Morning. It is January the 14th, 8:04 in the morning. I'm WESH 2 meteorologist Eric Burris, and this is Coffee Talk. Ay, boy, what an interesting little weather pattern that we have developing across town. And you know what's funny is as I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you, I'm almost like, where do I begin with this? So I think that probably the best place to start is going to just kind of chat about the overall setup, and then we can dive into some specificity because this is interesting. So, storm system that's over top of us this morning ends up bringing a few showers to us, but through the afternoon today deepens and moves away. You can see it's that low pressure off the east coast. Okay, got it. That's not anything really troublesome for us. Then cold front starts diving in, and overnight tonight, that's 2 a.m., 3, 4 in the morning, we're going into clouds, we're going into showers, we're going into even some pockets of heavier rainfall. So there's that, okay? Clears that out. And during the day tomorrow, we'll watch temperatures dropping. And so to that point, what we'll have to do is I'll pull up the kind of hour by hour setup so that we can look and see how this plays in hour by hour because it is an interesting thing, right? All right. From there, we're not done. High pressure builds in. We actually start to warm up a little bit on Saturday. And then our next cold front approaches us Saturday night into Sunday. And that cold front, well, that cold front could be interesting, could be really interesting. So, yeah, where do we start? What would you like to start with? Let's just start there. Would you like to start with our forecast today? Would you like to start with the Friday morning temperatures? First one to get it will be where I go. Because there's a lot of directions we go with. I think that at the beginning, we could even just say, let's start with, Tara says an interesting cold frame. Say, all right, so we'll do that. All right, so we'll definitely talk about, all right, so Debbie says today, so we're going to do today. All right, so for today, Victoria says today. All right, so for today, let's just get it out the door. This morning, we're in the 50s for our northern areas, lower 60s in the metro, back over to the Space Coast. Our first warning live radar, if I move this window over here and I come over here and then I hit this button, our first warning live radar scanning around, showing showers off the shoreline. Got it. Look at the wider perspective. There's that area of low pressure starting to form, pulling away from us. As it does so, it's pulling the morning showers away. So that's the first step. We're going to stay cloudy in the meantime. And then what ends up happening is all that rain up in the panhandle, that's going to start moving our direction later in the day. So for lunchtime, we should be cloudy, but we should be relatively quiet. We'll do about 67 degrees lunchtime. Okay? If that makes sense. Then by 3, 4, 5 o'clock, there's that 20% chance of rain. Temperatures starting to drop off, of course, because the sun is setting. But notice the rain chance 5, 6, 7 p.m. Notice that rain chance continues to go up, right? That rain chance continues to get us higher and higher. And as a matter of fact, if we take this and extrapolate it even further, let's do that. Look at that rain coverage overnight. 11 o'clock tonight, 60% coverage of rainfall. So that's going to be the first, I think, big step of this is going to be overnight rains for us. Okay. I'm not anticipating anything to be too strong or severe, not in any way, shape, or form. At least right now. We'll have to see how that plays out, right? But here we are with Futurecast, 11, 12 o'clock today. We're relatively quiet, but north and west of town, we're starting with those showers. There's 3, there's 4, there's 5 o'clock, the showers moving in. 6, 7 o'clock in the metro. It's going to be rainy at times this afternoon. So if you've got soccer practice, basketball practice, that sort of thing, that's something to keep in mind, okay? 8, 9 o'clock starts to clear out, but look how quickly I'm going to bring this back, okay? 8, 9 o'clock, we're quiet, but 10, 11, 12 o'clock, we really bring in some rainfall. Yeah? This is where Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi is going to earn his paycheck tonight when he's on WESH 2 News. He's been tracking these showers moving through the area. Then beyond that, we just kind of keep wet. There's 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, I'm off of work. So I won't be with you tracking it. but it's going to be there. We're going to be tracking the rains. Yeah, it's going to be a wet commute. Our Megan Mackey will be here. I believe Marquise Mita will be in the morning tracking it with you, but 5 a.m. is going to be wet. And what is so important here is that 6, 7 o'clock, the showers are starting to exit, but the roads will still be slick. The roads will still be slick. And so that's why it's going to be a morning we'll have to really watch. Now, after that, through the day, the skies are going to go clearing and it's going to end up being absolutely beautiful. So let's turn this around and let's dial up our temperatures through tomorrow because this is going to be that's Wednesday. Da, 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 da. All right, so Thursday. So you'll wake up tomorrow morning, upper 40s north of town, 50s into the metro. Watch how 12, 12:30, we push into the 50s, and then we start to drop. So let me dial this back again. Notice through the day, through the afternoon, the temperatures will already be dropping. So we're going to end up hitting our high temperature around 11, 12 o'clock tomorrow, because after that, the cold air will already be moving in. So tomorrow is going to be one of those weird days where it's going to be a dropping temperature through the afternoon and then into the evening. Oh, Manalfi changed this color table. Jesus. All right, I'll have to fix that. Morning low temperatures on Friday morning. Now, this is just kind of the model. I'll show you the actual low temperature here. If I have to hit the wrong, hold on a second. Friday, Friday. That was just the model. Here's our forecast low temperatures for Friday morning. Not much different, though, obviously, than the model. 34 degrees in Orlando, 31 in Sanford, 29 in DeLand, 26 in Ocala. It is very, very cold, right? We've gotten to 28 already this season in Marion County twice. It's just going to be colder for you there, right? So, yeah, that's Friday morning. And that's going to be the air temperatures. Remember, we've got feels like temperatures because of the chilly, chilly wind chills. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang. Notice, look at those feels like temperatures around. All of us feeling like the 20s just about, like Titusville, you'll feel like 30-ish, but Melbourne's down to 29. Orlando feels like 27. Yeah, that's impact weather. That's going to impact you. Debbie says, well, I like 32 better than 28 New Smyrna Beach. Listen, it's going to be cold no matter where you are, right? Like, even the warm spot isn't so warm. And so, because of that, National Weather Service has already issued freeze watches for our entire area. When we look at, and I think this is a really interesting product, this is the Frost Freeze and Hard Freeze product. And this is basically showing all of Central Florida under either a freeze or a hard freeze. So this is one of the many reasons why looking at Friday morning, we're calling it impact weather, because this is going to impact you. It is absolutely a chilly start. And while no, it's not dangerous in and of itself, think about those that don't have heating. Think about those that need a little extra help, right? That's the part of this that leaves me a little concerned, I'll say. Okay, so just when we're looking at this forecast, just keep that in mind. All right. Jeannie Rowan says, Jeannie Rowan is watching freeze like watching paint dry. Yeah. Now, that said, I had talked about an interesting front moving our direction. I'm curious if you guys know what I was talking about. Now, if you watched West 2 News this morning, you probably heard me talk about it a couple of times. But I started to see some social media chatter about this yesterday. Let me just find where I am on the rundown. I want to make sure before I get into this that I at least have some space on the rundown here. I don't have a ton of space. I've got a package. Okay. All right. So interesting on the computer models. Let me dial up. Oh boy. Let me dial this up. Okay. Here we go. Models. Getting through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, cold. Saturday, we're starting to bring up some moisture. Saturday is going to be a little warmer, but this is what I'm starting to talk about. Okay, let's take a minute and just let this be. So Brooke says, any chance of snow in North Florida to have the kids finally experience it? So the GFS and the European have started showing this. So when I started to see people discussing this yesterday, I'm like, all right, that's just a bunch of malarkey. But then I went in and I started looking at some of the ensemble plots. This is this morning's 6Z ensemble run. And I'd say about half of the ensemble members showed an opportunity for some snow in Florida. Then I went one ensemble run back, showing the same thing. Then I went one ensemble run back and basically showing the same thing. Is it going to accumulate? No. Not looking at any sort of accumulation. But is there the possibility there could be some wet flakes in North Florida on Sunday? Y'all? Seriously? That's a possibility. So I'm going to see, like we discussed this, and then I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to go do the weather, and then we can rejoin it.
What did you just threw a truth bomb on him?
I just
walk away.
I just started having that little snow discussion.
Oh, okay. Good morning, coffee talkers. Hello.
Well, you did. You're gonna bring the no hype,
Right. There could be.
Just let it snow, though. Wouldn't that be all fun?
It would be fun. I can't promise it's.
My little one, my 6-year-old, actually
wait.
never snows in Florida. It's cold right now.
It's different.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta talk more about this.
Not for this big
No,
weather.
no.
The next. But yeah, later.
All right, it's gonna be a big matchup. The high prices could fluctuate over the next few days, but they're expected to drop just before the game. So anybody ready to wait for these? The tickets are the most expensive, second most for an event at Hard Rock Stadium so far. And that's only second to Super Bowl 54.
Not surprised. I mean, you know how football fans are. If it's
Yeah.
a bucket list, if one of those are your teams,
Listen.
they're spending the
I
money
mean,
they can.
No, these are the kind of prices people are paying for seats to go see Taylor Swift.
Right.
Like, nope.
Although the U has been terrible for so long.
They're like the
Right.
I mean, these are two teams that have, not.
But the U came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and it's in the Miami area. So like that,
Yeah.
and then there's also right.
The Indiana quarterback is from Miami.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that.
Right here.
Yeah.
Has this incredible story.
There it is.
There's all these like great, like I love sports stories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
The storylines draw you in even more than the matchup.
I just hope it's a game. Like I don't want a blowout.
Yeah.
That's all I'm hoping for.
After seeing Indiana's game,
Uh-huh.
I love that QB so much. Sorry,
Yeah.
Miami fans.
Yeah.
I'm like, kid. I just love that they're a group of like not the 5-star.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, take it away, boys.
Look at Tom Brady. He was not a 5-star either. So anyway, let's do the weather. The producer hasn't even told me to move forward, but we should, because we could talk sports all day. All right, this morning, this is a live look over at Disney Springs. It is gray, and it has been showery from time to time. Temperatures in the upper 50s, lower 60s. Here's a look at our first warning live radar. We have been watching some rains this morning. Most of that energy has started to move off the shoreline, so we're actually pretty quiet. But just know that there could be a misty sprinkle here or there. Through the day today, temperatures climbing mid 60s to the north, upper 60s, lower 70s through the metro. And here's 5 p.m., okay? We're going to see the next round of showers starting to sneak into our area, starting around Ocala, Gainesville, Palm Coast, getting into the metro, 7 p.m. in Orlando. Then when Manalfi's forecasting tonight, big swath of rain moves in around midnight. That will continue right through tomorrow's morning commute. There's 6 a.m. Not the best, so plan accordingly. And even as the rain moves out 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it's still going to be a wet roadway. So today's got a medium chance of rain overnight tonight, though. That rain chance is high. Then we look ahead to a big push of cold air marching into our area. And basically, most of Central Florida gets to freezing temperatures or just about. 26 in Ocala, 25 in Lynn, about 27 in Bushnell, 29 degrees in Claremont, 29 degrees here in Eustis, Paisley, Umatilla, 28 degrees. Along the shoreline, we'll be into frost territory if the winds can go calm enough. 41 in Satellite Beach, 37 in Melbourne. But notice Vieira's already at 33. You get in and boom, the temperature drops. 33 St. Cloud, 32 in Celebration, 31 in Windermere, 30 degrees in DeLand, and freezing in Daytona Beach. So if you've got time outside, whether you work, walk to the bus stop, something like that, you're going to need to wear layers. Watch the plants, the pets, the pools, and the pipes. It's going to be one of those types of cold weather events. 7-day forecast showing the shower activity for us today, particularly afternoon, overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. We'll clear out through the day tomorrow, frigid Friday, and then this weekend, another front. And Megan, I got to tell you, some models are teasing at winter precipitation in North Florida. Let's discuss in the next half hour. Okay. Tara says Wesh is sending Eric to North Florida. Who knows? Nothing would surprise me. Terry says, so possible flurries here in Marion? No, we are not looking at all in any kind of winter precipitation in our area. The only indication that I've seen on the models, let me come here. I'm going to just turn this around. I'll put the raw model data up. The only indication, and we'll start with the GFS and we can shift around. We can go to the European and all that fun stuff. We'll do this. Let me hit this. Give me a few seconds to turn this. Okay, you're going to be a pain. There we go. Computer's getting grumpy. Okay, and then we're going to do precip type. Perfect. Let's go forward. All right, so this is Sunday. And I'm doing the Orlando view on purpose to show you we don't have it in our view, right? Nope, we don't. Not at all. But we go up to the Jacksonville view, and that's a different story. Let's go to the Jacksonville view. Oh, I went too far. My bad. Fast forwarding, fast forwarding, fast forwarding. Yeah. So that's the recent GFS run. Snow, perhaps, in Jacksonville. Okay, that's the GFS. Let's look at the European, showing the same thing. Now, you got to understand, though, the meteorological community is all about the ensembles. I showed you the ensemble members, how they were all showing is like a half and half. The idea of a wet flurry or so in the panhandle or the I-10 corridor over to Jacksonville. Is this guaranteed? Absolutely not. Is this for sure? Absolutely not. Is this saying that Central Florida gets snow? There is no indication on any model that Central Florida gets snow. However, just north of us, the models have shown that little bit of a trend. And I wanted to mention it because A, that's something. B, the models from run to run to run have been showing that. And C, you know I'm not going to hype it. Showing it to you, cool, like it, that would be fun. It's like a little fantasy, little fantasy island kind of thing. But outside of that, and I don't mean to be a putz about it, but I want to make sure to respect you enough to share with you the real deal. So, all right, back to the comments here. Let's see here. Where does giddy excitement transition to hype? You can tell hype. Like there's a very, very big difference, right? Yeah. All right, let's see here. Go to Publix and stock up on supplies. Yeah, the bread and all that stuff. TB12 was a backup at Michigan and was a 6th round draft pick. Well, that's exactly right. That's why those are cool storylines, right? So anyway, did you buy multiple cases of water if there's a chance of snow in the panhandle? No, 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 no. What do you call a cold Eric Burr? Oh, geez, you're too much. All right. Chris Pierce wants to know if you'd call it a florester. I mean, it's a cold front. It doesn't look like there's going to be a big storm system to go up the East Coast. I don't know that I would go that far. Yeah. All right, let's see here. It would be neat to get snow in Central Florida, Trina says. My kids would love it. My youngest has never seen snow. Neither of my kids have seen snow. That would be pretty neat to see. My neighbor put out his snow shovel in the driveway just in case. Chris, that way you can help him out if need be. Too funny. Let's see here. Seafoam snow. Oh man, so funny. Oh, I've seen the hype. That was 2 weeks ago. Snow models show snow coming. They always this time of year they always do. Now, why did I even mention it? Let's be very honest. Because it's not that far out. You know, once we get within this 5-day window, I don't feel terrible just showing it and at least making mention of it. It's not a hype thing. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to just dial that hype down. So, yeah. Wow, Anna says, I have never seen snow and I'm 42 years old. That's wild. Wow. Chris is asking, what day is the best chance of There's not even a great chance. I think the model showed like a 10% likelihood of accumulation. Like, it's not crazy. Don says, I'm from Buffalo. I've seen enough snow to last me a lifetime. That's funny. I love that. All right. So, any questions, comments, concerns about this at all? Nancy says, sure, Eric, no hype coffee talk. That's all. So, that's kind of where we're at. We've got big chill moving our direction. Sunday's going to be interesting. We'll have to definitely watch the trends. I'm going to do a Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever reel on that in a little bit. But yeah, I just want to make sure, I wanted to make sure to mention it just so that everybody was aware. Will it snow? Who knows? What? Yeah, we were just talking about it. Send me to the snow. Yeah. No, my God, there's not going to be accumulation, even if it does. Could be a couple wet flakes. But anyway, I'll talk about it. I'll keep you up to date. That I promise. All right, let me check this. Any other questions, my friend? Oh, BSR. Yes, we can do that. All right. Hungerford, weather, and then CWTs. Okay. All right, let's go do this, and then we can do that afterward. Tammy says snow is so overrated. Hey, I live in Florida. I don't want anything to do with it. That's all me, though. Joanne says, cover your plants, folks. That's true. It's going to be that kind of cold. So, Ricardo, I believe they bought one. I believe they bought one de-icing truck. But I remember what happened that one a couple of years ago. All right, Meredith, good morning. Starting off with mostly cloudy skies here on our Tower Cam network, looking over from our Rusties at the Port Tower Cam shot. There's a lot of rain. It's just now moved off the shoreline. Did have some showers around earlier today. So we're kind of entering into a little bit of a rain break, keeping with the clouds. Then notice this afternoon into tonight, those rain chances will continue to go up. It's going to be a soggy night tonight, soggy morning commute tomorrow, turning chilly by Friday. Megan. But yeah, I remember that, Ricardo, a couple of years ago. All right, let's see here. I've seen too much snow in my life. That's why I moved to Florida. Yeah, I get that. All right. All right. We can do BSR another day. I'm going to run. I got too much stuff going on. Ah, only Southwest has a truck. Didn't know that it was only Southwest. See? Thank you, Ricardo. The more you know. That's interesting. All right. Be the sunshine and